Well, hi guys. Yesterday was a beautiful day. We hit almost 90 degrees and there was a light breeze blowing. Today it's raining and it's only 62. And yesterday we had a lot of smoke covering my region. All of the Northeast has been experiencing a lot of smoke and it's been right at ground level. So around here, it's looked like we have forest fires going on, which does not occur here where I live. And it was so thick that the woods looked like they were immersed in a fog. And it was just crazy to see that. And it also makes the sun appear red. And I'll show some pictures in here of what our sun has been looking like lately since these fires. And, a lot of people don't know what to think about it. They don't realize it's the smoke causing it. It gives it that halo and that filtered look and makes it like a deep red. And every day our skies are not blue, they're like a milky white. So when the sun sets in the evening, it's very, very eerie and strange looking that you've got this milky, smoky, like hazy looking sky with just this red dot as the sun in it. And it's not even hard to look at the sun. You can basically look right at it with your own eyes. And it's been very bizarre. So much going on in the world lately, from catastrophic flooding going on in Asia and throughout Europe, and lots of shortages going on that people aren't even talking about, from rubber to foam. It's hard to get furniture. I've been hearing reports that furniture are on back orders and that you have to wait almost 2 years to buy a new sofa. And they're telling people to buy used, nice secondhand ones instead if you need it now. They're saying there's going to be a tire shortage for automobiles. We've already seen the chip shortages in different technology. All these things occurring, and everything just keeps getting worse. The droughts in California, and the entire West. It's not just California, but out west, and the fires. And this just goes to show you how you can be affected even though you don't live in the area that is experiencing these problems. But we're also going to see it in food. You're going to be seeing big shortages and high prices in food. And this is why I recommend you get seeds and grow a garden. Grow as much food as you can. Hopefully, you live in an area where you can have a garden and learn how to garden and produce as much as of your own food as you possibly can. It's going to be very, very important. It's going to be required, you guys, in the not too distant future. It's going to be required. People should be prepping and taking these disasters serious because they're striking in various locations around the world. Nobody is immune. And but you do want to think about living in the safest area that you can find. Forget the politics, forget all the other things that people dislike about various regions throughout the United States. When it comes to survival, you have to do what you have to do. And personally, I would not live where it's dry, where there's severe droughts, there's fires. I would not live where there's hurricanes and catastrophic flooding. Um, but people do. And I think the day's coming where they're going to regret that decision. It's so crucial to live where there's plenty of water, rich nutrient soil, where the elevation is high, and have a homestead. I think that's the most important thing you could do today. You know, people want to say that all these things that they're seeing around the world, all these different disasters, regardless of what the disaster is, they're blaming it on climate change. I don't think it's the climate that's changing, in my opinion. And this is just my opinion. I think we're seeing the times that were written in the Bible. I think this is biblical stuff that's happening, end times that are happening. This is what I believe. I don't think it's something that man is causing, with pollution and things like that, though that's never good, but I don't think it's on a scale big enough to cause what we're seeing. I think it's people that are refusing to have God in their lives and are not working in harmony with the earth and respecting the earth and living the way God intended man to live. This is why I think we're seeing the disasters we're seeing. This is just my opinion. You don't have to agree with me. You don't have to believe in it. This is what I believe. It's all written in the Bible, what would come to pass and what we would see in the days of the end. And this is just what I think it is. Certain areas of the West have enough groundwater, aquifers, and they have enough water to where they're not concerned yet. Well, that's fine and dandy, but what about these big hydro dams that produce electricity to the West? They're talking about starting to cut states off, different cities going without electricity. And they said this could last until the year 2026. And this isn't a drought that has been going on for more than 20 years, and it's worsening and getting to levels never seen before. So if you've got groundwater, how are you going to pump it out if you have no electricity? And everybody that's out west has air conditioning because they say it's so hot, you cannot live without air conditioning. Well, if the power goes out, you're going to find out what it's like to live without air conditioning. So you can have all the groundwater and aquifers that you could ever need. But if the power isn't there to pump it and you don't have electricity in your house to run your appliances like freezers and refrigerators and run your AC, what good is that going to do you? On top of the food shortages that we have coming. There's a rancher I watched last night. He's got a good channel. It's called Our Wyoming Life. And he's a rancher, a small time rancher. He's not one of these great big heavy duty ranchers, but he's a rancher in Wyoming. And he says all the big cattle ranchers are sacrificing 50% of their cattle. And his acreage, which are in the thousands of acres, the pastures are so dry that they have to now truck in hay from the Dakotas to feed the cattle. And they have to bring in fire trucks to fill up tanks for the cattle to drink water. It is so dry. And the grass is very, very short and it's brown. So, you guys, we're in serious trouble in this country between the shortages in goods and the more important shortages coming in food. We're going to be seeing a lot of things going away. So I highly recommend if anyone's watching this video and you're thinking about maybe possibly relocating or doing things different, living different, I would highly recommend you start doing your research and relocate to an area of the United States that is safe, where water is plentiful, where the soil is very rich and organic, and have a homestead. I think today that is the most important thing you could do for survival. And then once you have something like that, you want to be stocked up in goods that you may not be able to get in the future. Like all the camping and fishing gear that I own, that is the most important stuff that I own because if it came down to survival, those are the things that are going to get me through. It's not a couch, it's not a lamp, it's not a table. It's going to be things that I can actually utilize to help me survive. Things that don't rely on outside sources for it to work. That's another thing I recommend people invest in is fishing and camping gear. It's very important. It's inexpensive and you're going to need it. And if you don't know how to fish and you've never fished in your life, you need to learn how. You need to learn how because with the way the meat industry is getting, it may come down to a day to where the only meat you may be able to eat is a fish you catch. This is very serious, people. And unfortunately, people don't take things seriously until a catastrophe is knocking at their door. People always wait to the last minute, just like when a hurricane is coming. That's when everyone goes to the store. That's when people buy their sandbags. I always would wonder, what do these people do with the sandbags from the last storm? Don't they hang on to them so they have them to reuse again? Same thing with the plywood. They buy it over and over and over again. Never could understand that. But if you prepare and have all the things you need and live in an area where you can self sustain yourself and make it through the coming crises that we're going to be seeing, you will be golden. But only if you take the action and do it and apply it. Because if you don't have seeds stored up, you don't grow a garden, you don't have supplies stocked up, food stocked up, water, things like that, the essentials for survival, you need to get on it. You need to do it because things are getting serious, you guys. And if we're being affected here with smoke from wildfires, the effects of the food is going to be felt next. There's going to be all kinds of problems, and there's lots and lots of people out west that aren't taking this problem serious enough. They're going to hold out and wait for rain. But when the power goes out and you're without it for years, I don't know how you can live there. I don't know what those people are going to do, but it's going to be based on their decisions. And the ones that know that it's time to get out will be the ones that will survive, and the ones that don't won't. There will be those who won't. Lots of people won't leave, and it's not getting better. And they said this drought's going to continue way into October and beyond. Well, if it's been going on for 22 years, then yeah, it's going to go on past October. It could go on for another 5 years. Who knows? But eventually, those reservoirs will be down to 0% level. There will be nothing in them, just like the one is right now. I think it's the Gunnison Reservoir, if I remember right. It has nothing in it. It's dried up 100%. Not one drop of water in that reservoir. The rest will follow suit. You guys are on a time clock. You're running out. The power is going to go away. Triple digit heat, smoke in the air. I don't know how you're going to live in that heat with no AC, no way to keep food frozen, food refrigerated. There will be a run on generators. Problems everywhere, you guys. You got to start taking it serious and looking at it and thinking about where you live, what you have. And if you lack things, you need to start thinking about getting them now. Make sure that you and your family are taken care of today and for tomorrow and for months and years to come. And let me know down below what you guys think is going on. Do you think that this is a global warming issue due to pollution and man's habits and the ways of life? Or do you believe that this is more on a biblical scale, more of what's in the Bible? You could weigh in on the topic down below. Please, everyone, be friendly and respectful. And thanks for watching, you guys. And we'll see you again in the next one. Bye-bye.